All right, so hey everybody out there. My name, if you don't know, is Justin Fanoff, and I'm the Children's Director in our River Kids Ministry. And with me today is Hannah Kartagener, and she is really excited to come here today. Last week we had an Advent event for families where we kind of broke down how we can be intentional and purposeful with our Christmas season, because it can get kind of crazy and get kind of nutty and can get away from us really quickly. And so we wanted to come to you guys, and for a lot of you that weren't able to make it, and some of you even told us, hey, how can we get some of this information? So we thought, why not do a little video for you guys, and that way we can put it out to you guys and you guys can check it out at any point that you want to. So with that being said, I am here with Hannah today. And, Hannah, to start with, I think a lot of people just right out of the gate just want to know, what is Advent? Sometimes when we're learning something new, it's just the very basics, that we just learn what is Advent. So without maybe delving too much into the history, what can you kind of tell us about Advent?
Well, the most important thing for us to know is that Advent really means coming, and we're preparing our hearts and minds for the coming of Christmas, and with that comes the story of Jesus's birth. And especially for families with young children, these are the basic things that you really should focus on to begin an Advent celebration in your home.
Right. And as I've kind of discussed with Hannah, and she talked about at our event, we kind of got a little bit into the history of the Advent, but I think, if you guys just kind of Google that or look that up, I think there's some really neat things there. But as you said, kind of important not to get too caught up in it, because there's a lot of rabbit trails and those kinds of things. But one of the biggest things that we look at is the wreath, I think. And people look at the wreath and the candles and they go, how does this work? What does this look like? Maybe they come from different backgrounds or they come from no background. So could you kind of walk us through the wreath and what that part of Advent looks like?
Yes, so I can do that. So there are 5 candles, and the first thing I'd like to say is we use a wreath from the dollar store with these little picks on there from the craft store, and just sort of ragtag candles. Up until the time my kids were older, we used those little electric votive candles. So it doesn't have to be anything in particular.
Right.
Excuse me. However, there should be 3 purple candles, 1, 2, 3, a pink and a white. And I'll talk about what those are very briefly. So the first candle is purple. It's the prophecy candle, also known as the hope candle. The second candle, also purple, is the love candle, also known as the Bethlehem candle. And the third is the pink candle, or the shepherd's candle, also known as the joy candle. And then we have the fourth, the angel's candle, also known as the peace candle. And the white is always the Christ candle, and it's not added until Christmas Eve. So the most important thing, if you're just starting out or you're just trying to keep it simple, focus on peace, hope, love, joy. So those are things that tie in really well together, right? Because we want to love people well, that creates joy. We want to have a peaceful season. And of course, hope ties into that also. We're hoping for a savior, at which we already have, but we are celebrating these ideas. So those are the things to most focus on in the big picture.
Okay, excellent. Now, when you kind of do that celebration, so you kind of do it once a week,
Yes.
Do you kind of add an activity in with it? Is there something that you kind of do to help engage that?
In our family, we have decided not to try and do a daily Advent reading.
Sure.
That may work well for some people. For us, we like to do it once a week. Generally, we'll do Friday night, or we will do Sunday evening or afternoon. That's just what works for us, but whatever works.
Sure.
Just whatever works, really. So some of the things that we do are, everybody bakes cookies, right? So here we have an angel cookie cutter. Here's a tree. Most people bake cookies at the holidays, and kids really like cutout cookies. Here's a little candy cane. So there are stories and symbolism in these shapes, and you can also Google that. There are lots of different ideas about different meanings you can tie into Advent based on cookie cutter shapes or symbols of Christmas.
Sure.
And then we have a couple of books. The Gift of the Christmas Cookie, Sharing the True Meaning of Jesus' Birth. And this book is by Dandy Dally Mackle. We enjoy that book. And we also enjoy Christmas Cookies, Bite-Sized Holiday Lessons by Amy Krauss Rosenthal.
That's awesome.
And so while the cookies are baking, you can read one of those stories and, maybe read a verse, do a little joy craft or something like that.
Awesome.
And there you have it.
Yeah, that's excellent. So I know you've also mentioned a couple different maybe events outside the home, maybe something that you guys find that you do. What are maybe just a couple examples of that?
Well, our favorite one is a Bethlehem walk. Not everyone calls it that anymore, but a few churches here and there still have live scenes that you can go and visit where they have the people and the animals and the story leading up to Jesus's birth. And a lot of times they'll have music beforehand or cookies afterwards, that kind of thing. We really like that.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep it more simple and at home, just watch a Christmas movie, enjoy the lights on the tree, maybe share some. In our house we like caramel corn or something.
Yeah.
Just have a reading from the Bible and have a family fun night. Maybe get a pizza.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I know a lot of you might naturally go out and see some lights. There's a lot of lights that are around, some very cool light things with neighborhood.
Yes.
So that's something that my family definitely likes to do. And one of the things I love that you mentioned was, guys, it really doesn't have to be this grandiose thing. It doesn't have to, we talk about all the time, weaving it in and out of our natural things. So if you're going out to the lights and you're seeing the lights, maybe a natural conversation with your kids can be that Jesus is the light of the world. And how does that kind of relate? Just those little things. That doesn't have to be these huge moments. And I love that's a lot of what Hannah and her family talk about. So one of our favorite thing, or one of the people's favorite things from the event that we did was these ornaments. So could you talk for just a second about that? Because I think this is a really neat little activity.
So these are little plastic ornaments from, the after Christmas sale at Target or the dollar store or whatever. They sell these little tiny ones in tubes. I don't recommend you use glass ones because we've lost a few that way. But there are lots of names of God, and this is a great time of the year to talk about that. So this one says Good Shepherd on it. We have Light of the World, Jehovah Sabaoth. So anyway, I got this idea several years ago from someone else who had handed out these little postcards. And, it says, Wonderful Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace, Emmanuel, God with us. And I remember after I framed this and set it in my house as a Christmas decoration, just really being impacted. It was powerful. I mean, just a postcard. And so we expanded it to that. And eventually I found this book called God's Names by Sally Michael. And in here, it's a kid's book, but honestly, I use it in my quiet time more than my kids do. It's just got very short descriptions and different names of God. I totally recommend this book. The names of God are powerful.
Yes.
And Advent's a great time to tie that in.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for coming in. We really appreciate it. We hope that this is helpful for you guys that weren't able to make it. And you know what? We're going to be available still on Sundays if you guys come through on Sundays. Hannah is one of our host team, and she's in the hallway a lot of times. I'm in the hallway a lot of times. So come find us. And she is willing to help you guys with just different suggestions, even outside of the Bethlehem walk or the lights. There's even a ton of other, Christmas tree lightings all over the place. I mean, there's just a lot of different things going on. Don't feel like you have to do all 25 days, like Hannah said.
That's right.
I think a great place to start is once a week or something to that effect. My family has worked their way up to daily. And it can be a lot. It really can. It's fun, but it can be a lot. So if that's just overwhelming, don't feel like you have to go crazy on that. So I just thank you so much, Hannah, for coming in. We hope this was informational for you guys, just trying to be intentional and purposeful for this Christmas season. If you haven't yet, please subscribe below. Feel free to comment below the video and just kind of connect with other people who are around our community on maybe some different ideas that you have or just some different things that you're doing. Or let us know what you're doing off of
we would love that.
Yeah, what we've suggested. So thank you guys so much, and we will see you next time. All right?
Bye-bye.
Bye. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate it. We are really excited about helping you guys to be the best disciples for your kids that you can be. That's part of what our mission is at River Kids Children's Ministry. And if you want to know a little bit more about why we're doing this in these videos and why we're going to be heading in this direction more, you can check that out in this video right up here. If you haven't had a chance to subscribe, I really encourage, because this really is something that we're going to be doing more and more. And you can do that in the button right down here, or even further down, there's a button that you can subscribe as well. Here in River Kids, our mission is just to point you and your children to Christ and to one another through building communities. So that's why we encourage you in every video just to comment below, whether to us or to other families, and we're just really excited to be a part of what God is doing here. So check back regularly, and we're excited to see you. All right, we will see you guys next time.